All right, we're going live in three, two, one. Hello and welcome to women's lacrosse. Michigan Wolverines versus the Cincinnati Bearcats. Michigan is ranked 19th here on this Sunday, Selection Sunday, but not for women's lacrosse. For women's lacrosse, we just got a regular game here, but still very excited for this non-conference battle. I got John Tondora with me. How are you, John?
I'm doing well, Coby. How are you?
I'm fantastic. First, am I right? First broadcast ever.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
We're
I mean,
excited.
yeah. I mean, we got a huge game. Michigan 1-0 in the Big Ten, but this is not a Big Ten slate. One key player for Michigan here, Jill Smith, 29 goals, 3 assists. She's just a fantastic player. And, I mean, I've never seen this. The difference between how many goals she has and how many goals other people on the team has is crazy. The next highest player is 8, which that's just insane.
Yeah, certainly. Jill's definitely made an impact here this season. And, they're only 8 games through their regular season schedule. So you have to wonder how much she's going to do in these final couple of goes about midway through the season. And you have to expect she's got a lot more in the tank. She's been a successful player. She was successful in Michigan's run in the NCAA tournament last year. They were, of course, eliminated to Northwestern in Evanston. However, I'm sure they want to rectify that coming up.
Yes, absolutely. And another key player, junior Maya Santamaria in goal, started every game in goal this season, has earned all of their 4 wins. I mean, goalkeeping in lacrosse, I think you kind of have to be a psycho to be a goalie in lacrosse because it's scary. But, credit to her. She has been fantastic. Against Colorado, she made career best 13 saves. That's a lot of saves considering how hard it is to stop an individual lacrosse shot.
Certainly, and for those at home who maybe aren't aware, she's currently boasting a .514 save percentage on the season. And but for those who haven't played lacrosse, maybe that sounds like a pretty low thing. Maybe if you're a listener coming from the hockey world where you're used to 900 being the goal, it's not the same. In lacrosse, if you're above 500, you're doing something right. It's like you said, Coby, it's one of the most difficult positions probably in all of sports, certainly on the lacrosse field. And you have to be a little bit of a psychopath, but they say that about a lot of goalies. So.
Yes, yeah, they do. And Ian's about to start. We got the face-off. Josie Gooch from Michigan taking the face-off. And the ball is about to be dropped. Facing off. The ref is having a little trouble getting their 6 ready, as it seems. And the ball is taking a while here. And it's off. But I guess they call a foul, and it is Cincinnati's ball. They have it attacking down the right side. Great defensive play by Michigan, but I think they're going to call another foul. Cincinnati's going to have it out of bounds here as they are attacking. Got Julie Rose has it toward the center. Back out to Lauren Ottensmeyer in the middle. Cameron Callaghan towards middle, back out. Attacking down the center. Michigan playing great defense, not letting anyone in Cincinnati in the center. Cincinnati controlling the outside of the circle here, as Michigan is just not letting them inside. 40 seconds on the shot clock. Attempted pass inside, and it is out of bounds. Turnover. Michigan has it.
Yeah, certainly, and Coby, what we're seeing early here is some pretty good defensive switching by this Michigan Wolverines team, wouldn't you say?
Yes, absolutely, as Michigan has it attacking down the left side, Cincinnati trekking back. Michigan has it behind the goal line, 70 on the shot clock. And they're kind of moving the ball around, looking for an opening in the defense. They've got it behind the net. It's a shot, and it's a goal for Michigan. Kaylee Thompson, the graduate student from Bel Air, Maryland, scoring the first goal of the game. 1-0 Michigan. What did you see there? How is Michigan able to score that?
Yeah, certainly. I think what really made the difference there was Kaylee Thompson coming in, making that one move on the left side of the goal and just using her speed to come in fast, one-on-one with the goaltender, and she puts it home. When you have those one-on-one situations, that's what you're drawing up in any lacrosse game. And graduate student, lots of experience. She's going to be burying that one.
Yes, absolutely. A great start for Michigan. Only 2 minutes into the game. Did not use a lot of the shot clock. Were aggressive and clearly paid off. Here, face off here. The crowd was loving that goal, going wild. As there's a battle face-off, Michigan wins it. They're attacking down the center, now down the left side. Cincinnati scrambling back, got it behind the net, circling it around just like last time, trying to find an opening in the Cincinnati defense. And the net. There's a call here. I'm not sure what they called.
I believe that might be a shooting space penalty resulting in a free shot.
Yes, that is. And a great defensive play by Cincinnati. But I think they're going to be redoing that, I guess. That's not allowed.
I think they're going to say one of them jumped a little too early, Coby. I'm not sure what you saw there, but it seemed like they got some stick action.
It's a shot tipped out of bounds. So Michigan regains possession. They're circling around the outside, trying to find an opening. They can't yet. 40 on the shot clock. And it's a loose ball. Michigan regains possession at the top of the circle, right side, behind the net, looking for an opening once again. Michigan just cannot find an opening. Great defense by Cincinnati here. 20 on the shot clock. Michigan got it, passed to the front, fake shot, and we're going to have another shooting space opportunity for Michigan here. And it's a shot and it's a save. What a save by Ashley Lapp, the junior. That was a fantastic save.
Yeah, certainly, Coby. And is it good defense or better? Is it good offense or better defense? The fact of the matter is, running down the shot clock, the Bearcats were able to hold strong against the Wolverines, despite the Wolverines have this potent offense, but 2 free shooting penalties, and they still can't convert. If you're the Wolverines, what do you think you have to do here?
Well, I think you've missed 2 or 3 golden opportunities here. You're not going to get a better shot now. Cincinnati, coming to attack, has a chance to tie it as there's 50 on the shot clock. Cincinnati being patient, holding the ball, trying to get inside this tough Michigan defense. They haven't allowed a shot yet. Michigan even has their sticks up. Great fundamental defense here. Cincinnati has it, an errant pass, and they have to reset with 25 on the shot clock. Not much time. Pass to the middle, but it is wide, and I think they're going to call another shooting space penalty.
Certainly, a prime opportunity here for the Bearcats to level it at 1.
Huge opportunity. Maya Santamaria trying to make a save on Grace Welland. It's a shot and it's a save by Maya Santamaria. And Michigan has it. They're attacking down the left side. They've got numbers. Streaking toward the middle is Maya Rutherford. And she cannot find anyone. And Michigan resets. It is Caroline Davis holding the ball. 70 on the shot clock. At the top of the key. Have it down low behind the net. What a move by Kaylee Thompson past the front to the middle. And I think they're going to call, I think it's going to be another shooting space penalty for Michigan.
Yeah, Kaylee Thompson, she just really draws eyes, doesn't she? It seems like she's been all over the offensive zone for Michigan so far. And, I don't know what you're seeing, Coby, but if the Wolverines keep drawing these shooting space penalties, one is going to have to hit eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. Jill Smith here to take it for her 30th goal. She goes, it's a shot, and it's a goal. And she drops her stick to celebrate with her teammates. 2-0 lead here for Michigan. 10:06 left. And, what did you see there on the penalty? What did you see there on her shot choice?
Yeah, it's just one of the most lethal shots in the sport. Jill Smith has 30 goals in 8 games. And you couldn't really script a better start for the Wolverines, right? Up 2-0, 5 minutes into this contest. Of course, there's a lot of game left, but you'd rather have it going this way than the other way. The Bearcats are going to have to work to find an answer here. They haven't been able to have much success in their own offensive zone. And if you're Michigan, you just got to keep pressing forward, don't you think?
Yes, and Cincinnati has not been able to get really any offense going. And, they've just kind of been stuck on the outside of the attack circle. They haven't really been able to get into the middle where those shots where those key opportunities are going to come from.
Yeah, I think you make a great point, Coby. You want to get to the middle in these situations. That's what Michigan has been so successful at so far. But if you're the Bearcats, they really have not been able to puncture this Wolverine defense yet.
And Michigan has it down the right side. Is Jill Smith again looking for her 31st goal. I don't know if she's looking to, but she has the potential to lead the whole country in goals.
Yeah, right, and that's really an incredible feat and something that this 19th ranked Michigan women's team is going to need if they want success. It's all about Jill Smith. And speaking of, not just Jill Smith, but also Annabelle Burke with her first goal of the game.
Yes, absolutely. Just a fantastic shot. Michigan is taking control of this game here. This could get ugly very quickly for Cincinnati.
Certainly, Coby, we don't want to sound like a broken record here, but
No.
another play where Michigan can puncture the inside and generate a one-on-one opportunity. The Cincinnati goaltender, she's going to try her best, but without her defense standing strong in front of her, it's going to be difficult to save those one-on-ones. We know she's already done it twice with free shots, but in a sport like lacrosse, there's only so many opportunities you'll be able to save.
Yes, absolutely. Just got the face-off. See if Cincinnati can stop the bleeding here. The shots are in favor of Michigan, 6-1. That's her 6th goal this season for Annabelle Burke.
And another draw control won by the Wolverines. That's Josie Gooch again. I believe that's her 3rd of the day today so far, Coby.
Yes, a fantastic job on the face-off circle by her. Michigan just has chance after chance as they're controlling it behind the net once again. Michigan being patient, waiting for an opportunity. And I think we got another shooting space penalty. And it's a shot and it's a goal for Jill Smith, her 31st of the season, 2nd of the game, 4-0 Michigan. Absolutely piling on here.
Certainly, Coby, and the goal is incredible, as we know Jill Smith can be, but I want to take us back a little bit beforehand to the penalty, and that's where good teams like Michigan can kind of start to beat up on the Bearcats. The Bearcats, there's a lot of time left in this game for them, but what the Wolverines do so well is they put you in these uncomfortable positions. They make you draw those penalties, and of course we've spoken a lot about the 2 saves so far for the Bearcats, but eventually someone always pays, right? And the Wolverines are making them pay right now.
Yes, and Jill Smith not only scoring goals, but creating offense. She's such a threat, and she draws so much attention. But even with that, she's able to score 2 goals already in the first 6 minutes. I mean, that's just it's crazy how effective she is, even when the defense is honed in on her.
Certainly, and we've spoken so much about Maya Santa Maria so far, but she's not had to do much work, right?
No.
I'm sure she's just. She's not putting her feet up back there, but, I wonder if she's getting a little bored having to watch this goal scoring.
Yeah, but, I mean, when you're a goalie, I mean, being bored is awesome.
Yep.
That's like the goal is to be bored. And, I mean, just a great job of the Michigan defense. Just they've built a wall around the circle. The only opportunity was on a shooting space penalty. That's their only shot. So, I mean, fantastic job by the Michigan defense.
Certainly, I think you make a really good point. We've been talking so much about this Michigan offense, but it's only possible through these draw controls and through Michigan's defense just setting up, stopping shots, stopping passes, and getting into their transition, forcing the Bearcats to go on the ride, the ride being their defensive transition. And, I mean, it's been the way of the Wolverines so far, Coby. I don't know if there's much more to say. We're sounding like broken records, but
yes. But sometimes broken records can be good. I mean, if the record that's broken is a good record, I mean,
hey,
who knows?
Hey, and if you're the Wolverines, you want it to keep playing, right?
Absolutely. And okay, so if you're the Wolverines, what do you say during that timeout? How do you keep the intensity while recognizing, you have a safe lead?
That's a great question, Coby, and I think it comes down to just keeping the intensity up, keeping the pressure up. You're right, it's really difficult to keep that going. The Bearcats, they're calling that timeout because they're starting to spiral a little bit, right? I'm sure, the head coach of the Bearcats is keeping it all together for them, but the fact of the matter is they're looking to mount a comeback, and they're going to need to get something done sooner rather than later. So for the Wolverines, it's kind of about staying even keel, but for the Bearcats, it's about pressing on the gas.
Yes. We're going to start this once again. Let's see if Josie Gooch can win her 4th faceoff. And she does, as Josie Gooch attacking down the right side, giving it to Kaylee Thompson. Back to Jane Federhoff. Into the middle with Erin Garvey. To the always dangerous Jill Smith, taking her time. Michigan has it behind the net. Jill Smith in the middle, looking for a teammate. Has it behind the net to the front. It's a shot, and it's a goal. Lily Montemarano, the junior. I mean, just a fantastic goal. Michigan piling it on here. Clearly, something worked in that timeout to keep the intensity. 5-0 Michigan.
Certainly. If you're the Bearcats, this is not what you want right now. You call that timeout, like you mentioned. You're looking to generate some offense of your own, but another face-off draw by Josie Gooch goes the way of the Wolverines, and suddenly it's 5-0 off that cut and score by Montemarano.
And what are you thinking now if you're Cincinnati? I mean, Michigan's scoring at a pace about a goal a minute. I mean, I think you probably have to first try to win a face-off to try to get possession. I mean.
Yep, exactly, Coby. I think it starts with the little things. I think you take this face-off win, you gain possession, and just try and work on the little things from there. It's not about looking up at the scoreboard. It's about coming back one goal at a time, even if it's a tall task.
See if Cincinnati can win the face-off here. And it's fought for. And Michigan has it again. They were so close. Cincinnati has to defend once again. And it's going to be, it's hard to come back when you don't have the ball.
Certainly, and if we want to look on the bright side a little bit here for the Bearcats, Michigan has been here before. They had a large lead about 3 or 4 weeks ago to the day against Central Michigan, and it kind of got close down the end. So if you're the Bearcats, maybe you want to stem the bleeding here, get into this first quarter timeout, and see if you can mount a response. But right now, playing in their defensive zone, it's not where they want to be. And as you said, Coby, can't score without the ball. That's pretty integral in any sport. So
that's true. As Michigan has it behind the net, 45 on the shot clock, but Cincinnati, they have taken the ball. Fantastic defensive play by the sophomore Alexis Rich. And finally, Cincinnati is able to attack.
Certainly, and Alexis Rich is going to come off here for a midfield transition, but that's a key play by her to generate that turnover from a stick lift, I believe it was, and really try and give the Bearcats some life here.
And now they can finally attack. Jordan Remmer starting the attack on the right side. Michigan making some transitions into the defense, and Cincinnati taking their time, looking for an opportunity, trying to get into the middle of this dominant Michigan defense right now. Lauren Ottensmeyer, Cincinnati, trying to get into the center, back out, behind the net, in the middle, and a great play by Michigan. It's picked up by Aaron Garvey, and they are running the attack. Cincinnati scrambling back, and it is Jill Smith streaking down the middle, but she waits. She waits for support.
Yeah, that's what Michigan's defense has been so successful at all day today. That 5-0 lead comes from defensive stands like that where, Michigan's able to collect that ball off of errant passes, off of turnovers, force the Bearcats to go back into their defensive ride, and suddenly things aren't looking so good. Now, we do have the Bearcats retaining possession here off of a missed pass, I believe, but you can't let that happen if you're Cincinnati. You need to be able to take care of the ball in the offensive zone. That is the next step, once you get the ball, of course.
Yes, and as they did do a good job of forcing turnover there, and now they are attacking, but Michigan just absolutely relentless defensively, especially Jill Smith. She's not only an attacker, she plays hard defense as she comes off for the transition here.
Yeah, if you're Jill Smith, maybe it's a much-earned break coming off for a little bit. I'm sure she'll be back on in a second, but I'm sure she needs a breather. She's been all over the place today.
Absolutely. As Cincinnati, 50 on the shot clock, trying to find some offense. They got one shot through 9 minutes of the game. That's just not going to do it here. Lauren Ottensmeyer cannot find an opening here. Looks like we're going to have a shooting space penalty, or just a regular foul. Just for starting play. Sandy has it in the middle, a shot, and it's wide. And great positioning by the Michigan defense, but Cincinnati has the ball back to the middle, and it's a great defensive play by Grace Callahan. Michigan has the ball back. They got a shot, but it was not a very good one.
Yeah, that was not able to come together the way the Bearcats would have liked. A missed shot and then a turnover for possession switch there, and now the Wolverines are back on offense.
And Wolverines tried to center it, but a great play by Ashley Lapp, the Cincinnati goalie. Michigan had Julie Schwab wide open in the center, but a great play by the goalie. But Michigan now takes the ball back. Cincinnati just cannot keep possession. As got 80 on the shot clock, Michigan taking their time. They know they have a huge lead. The clock is now the enemy of the Cincinnati Bearcats, as it's going to be hard to make up this deficit, as Michigan can just take as much time as it wants here.
Certainly, and the Wolverines are content to use all of those remaining 60 seconds on the shot clock. They are more than happy to let this just draw out. Only in the first period, or in the first quarter right now. Sorry, I'm still in my hockey ways after last night, but still in the first quarter right now. And of course, you never want to say the game is over, but if you're the Bearcats, you got to start picking it up sooner rather than later. This is a team that last year, almost to the day, March of last year, lost 20-7, to the Wolverines. So they've kind of been in this position before. They've had a tough lead to come back from. The question is, can they do it?
Absolutely, and we will find out as Michigan 30 on the shot clock, taking their time. Cincinnati defense scrambling here as Michigan is continuously able to get its players inside in dangerous positions. Michigan has it behind the net, trying to wrap around, and it's a pass, but it's a shot. It's missed. Michigan regains possession here. And is it going to be another shooting space penalty?
I believe so. Looks like from the top of the key, the Wolverines will have another opportunity.
Yes. C.C. Stein, the freshman. It's a shot, and it's wide right, picked up by Cincinnati. That was a missed opportunity for the Wolverines, but again, creating opportunities, that's what it's about here.
Certainly, and you have to credit Ashley Lapp. Of course, the score is a little lopsided right now, but she's truly been doing her best.
Yes, Michigan has it. They've got an opening. Caroline Davis in the middle to C.C. Stein, and the freshman scores a goal. A fantastic pass from Caroline Davis, and it's 6-0. Michigan Wolverines absolutely piling it on here on the Bearcats.
Certainly, CC gets her second chance, and this one's not going to miss. I was just crediting Ashley Lapp, but the fact of the matter is when you have another 1-on-0 situation, a turnover in the neutral zone by the Cincinnati Bearcats, and suddenly you're putting Ashley Lapp in a bunch of tough positions. She's had to try and make save after save tonight, and the fact of the matter is she can only do so much, and if Cincinnati wants to come back in this game, they're going to need a little bit of help from their defensive effort.
Yeah, and just a fantastic finish from the freshman, C.C. Stein. I mean, freshman scoring a goal, that is pretty awesome.
Certainly, especially when you consider kind of how much of a veteran team this Michigan Wolverines squad is. Like we mentioned earlier, made it 2 rounds into the NCAA tournament last year. You have players like Jill Smith, who are graduate seniors who are on this starting lineup and just kind of potent goal scorers. So for C.C. Stein, to get her foot in the door there, uber important and a great sign for the future of the Wolverines.
Yes, absolutely. The future is definitely looking bright. It's her 3rd goal this season. Let's see, Michigan win another face-off. Josie Gooch has just been fantastic in the circle. And looks like it's going to be a win for Michigan. Jill Smith has it to Caroline Davis on the left side. Back to Smith. Gooch at the top of the key to Aaron Garvey. Loses it, but picked up by Lily Montemurano. And Michigan has it behind the net, looking for people inside. Jill Smith makes a move, but looks like we're going to have another shooting space penalty for Jill Smith. She comes. Runs towards the net, flanked by Cincinnati defenders. She's bumped, and they call a bump. And I think we're going to redo that one.
Certainly, if you're the Bearcats, Jill Smith is not the person you want to put the ball in the hands of, especially on a free shot opportunity like this.
Here she is, shoots, and she scores. No surprise there. Jill Smith, her 32nd goal of the season. Her quest to lead the nation in goals continues. And 7-0 Michigan. This is just a beatdown. This is tough for the Cincinnati Bearcats right now.
Certainly, and a hat trick for Jill Smith today. This could be the first 5-point performance we've seen out of a Wolverine since February 10th, I believe, against Jacksonville earlier in the year. And the fact of the matter is, Jill Smith is just lighting it up right now. You called it a beatdown. You want to be able to sugarcoat it, but the fact of the matter is, Michigan has been living in its own offensive zone. The Bearcats have been on their back heel for the entirety of this game, and you have to wonder if they really do need that first quarter timeout to try and gain some semblance of a momentum shift here.
Yes. The momentum is clearly on Michigan's side. And credit Josie Gooch for winning all of these faceoffs to get possession in the first place. face off. See if Gooch can win another one. Shots right now in favor of Michigan, 13-2. And it's a win by Cincinnati. Oh, no, they lose it. And, yes, and they're going to call a foul on Michigan. So it is Cincinnati has possession, finally, for the first time in forever. They almost lost it. Michigan's defense is swarming Cincinnati. It is absolutely very tough. Lauren Adensmeyer taking it down the left side to Grace Welland behind the net. Well defended. There's no opening anywhere. Cameron Callaghan behind the net, but great defense by Maya Rutherford. And he has it. Trying to pass it to the middle, but it's going to be a bump on Michigan, I believe. We might have a shooting space penalty here with 50 seconds left.
Hard to understate the importance of this if you're the Bearcats. You want to be able to go into this first quarter break with something on the docket as being a positive, so we'll have to see.
Freshman Lexi Wolf, Cincinnati. It's a shot, and it's a great save by Maya Santamaria. An easy save for her, no problem. It's Michigan, 40 seconds left here in the first quarter, trying to put an eight spot here on the Bearcats, see if they can do it. Don't have much time, but Wolverines really haven't needed much time to score here.
That's true, and they can be content to just run out the shot clock here, and you have to wonder if the Wolverines are looking for a goal or if they're kind of content to go into the locker room, go into this sideline with just the momentum totally their way.
Yeah, Jill Smith, a shot, and it's a snipe for Jill Smith, her fourth goal of the game from about 15 feet out. Just a crazy shot. 8-0, 4 goals for Jill Smith. This is just insane. Michigan just scoring at will here.
Yeah, and we've seen some high-flying lacrosse games before, but the fact of the matter is, I said stay content. I don't know Jill Smith that well, I guess, because with 8 seconds left on the clock, that was a snipe. No other way to put it. You got it exactly right, Coby. But the Wolverines are not content today. I guess they're looking for a beatdown, and they're getting one.
Yeah, no, that says a lot of her. If you're Jill Smith, you're scoring 33 goals in 9 games. I don't think she's content.
No, sir.
And that's probably what makes her so good. 8.6 seconds left. Maybe Cincinnati can just win a faceoff, just have possession, just have something positive happen here. This has been very tough mentally for them. They haven't gotten anything going.
Certainly, you have to wonder when the mentals start to play into the game. If you're looking up at that scoreboard and wondering what do you have to do, I guess if you're the Bearcats, you just have to go into this period and say, look, it's a new game. Don't look at that scoreboard. It's 0-0, and you just got to win every period battle.
Yes, and the time has expired. 8-0 Michigan over Cincinnati. We get a 2-minute break here. And, what have you seen so far in the first quarter? How has Michigan been able to be this dominant?
Coby, I think you've been touching on it every single time. Josie Gooch has won, I believe, at least 5 face-off draws to this point. She's setting up this Wolverine offense in a great position, and they've not been missing their shots. We see 14 shots for the Wolverines so far in this first quarter. That is just an impressive amount. If you are Ashley Lapp and the Bearcats, she's seen a lot of action. She's doing the best she can, but just living in the offensive zone the Wolverines are today.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're the Cincinnati coach, how would you stop Jill Smith? Because I don't know how to stop her.
I don't know if I could draw up much of a game plan to stop Jill Smith, but it starts with not looking at that scoreboard and saying, one goal at a time. You got to chip away from this lead, and maybe eventually if you look up at the scoreboard, you'll find a new game. But the best way to stop Jill Smith is to not let her have the ball, and that's incredibly hard to do. But if you're the Bearcats, you got to find some way to scheme around pushing the ball out of her hands and make the other Michigan scorers do the work. Although, we've seen today that they're perfectly content to let that happen. So,
yeah, it's definitely easier said than done to not look at the scoreboard. Yeah. Yeah, and so we have a new broadcaster joining us for the second quarter. Jack, how are? Oh wait, you're Jack, right? Okay, yes. I'm sorry. Jack is here. How are you? First broadcast ever. What are you feeling right now watching the absolute domination by the Michigan Wolverines?
Thank you so much, Coby. I'm feeling great. This has been a great first quarter of lacrosse to watch. This Michigan team really in the driver's seat. I'm so excited to watch this team just because they've been in control in really every aspect of the game. They're winning the face-offs. They're playing really physical at the defensive end. And obviously, 8 goals in one quarter, nothing to complain about down there, too. Really strong lacrosse in every phase from them. So I'm excited to see what shakes out here. Probably more the same as what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, and I mean, shots right now, you see 14-2. I mean, it's just, I mean, if you're Cincinnati, I'm not, like, it's going to be so hard these next 45 minutes because, I'm not going to say it's over, but scoring 8 goals in 45 minutes in a lacrosse game, when you haven't even had the ball for a while, that's pretty tough. I mean, I'm not sure how they're going to do that. If you're Cincinnati, is there a game plan that you're drawing up?
Yeah, it's tough. I think Michigan's been here before in a similar environment where they control the possession a lot early on. Against Central Michigan, they held the ball for nearly the entire first quarter. Central Michigan ended up coming back. Michigan only wins that game by 1 point, or 1 goal. The difference, Michigan only had 7 goals in that entire game, won that game 7-6. They've already got 8 here today. I think for Cincinnati, it's going to start at the defensive end. They've got to start playing a little more physical. It's really tough. Michigan's got so many weapons. Obviously, Jill Smith is the story today, but a well-rounded attack for Michigan. I think Cincinnati's got to get in their face a little bit more, make things a little bit more difficult. We'll see if they can do that here.
Absolutely. As the next 15 minutes, we'll start. Let's see if Josie Gooch can win yet another face-off.
She's had a lot of success here so far.
Oh, yeah. And it's won by Michigan, picked up by Maddie Burns to Jill Smith. A pass inside, back to Jill Smith in the middle, but she is patient and waits for her teammates. Gooch has it at the top of the key. Directing traffic here. Trying to find an opening. Gooch surveying the field. Passing it behind the net. It's Caroline Davis behind the net. Back out to Kaylee Thompson. Back to Davis inside. Behind the net to Federhoff. Inside. And it's swarmed by Cincinnati. Great play, but it's picked up again by Lily Montemarano. Michigan has it. 40 on the shot clock. Michigan trying to find another opening. Cincinnati seeming to do a better job here. Jill Smith had it, but they doubled her instantly. Pass to Jill Smith inside. She's got an opening, and she shoots under the stick of the Cincinnati goalie. 9-0 Michigan. 5th goal of the game for Jill Smith.
Really impressive stuff there. Michigan is not so far today. They haven't been afraid to work late into the shot clock. They've been really patient. It's been really impressive to watch. Obviously, in the driver's seat, they can control the tempo. They play fast at times. They play slow at times, and they've been successful most every time they've had the ball. So really great stuff there.
Okay, we apologize. I think they actually called off that goal. So it is not her 5th goal, but
I take it
she
all
almost
back,
scored. I mean, all you said is valid because she's probably going to score 5th very soon. So, I mean, Michigan just absolutely controlling this game.
Absolutely, but on that possession, too, Cincinnati moving well on defense, shifting. There we go.
Yeah, then that's another goal. Caroline Davis. It was 9-0. We messed up, said it was 9-0 too early, but Michigan saves us. Michigan just domination. They score it. Actually, they're in a little bit of a slump here. Their goal minute pace has not continued here. It took him 2 minutes to score.
You know, lacrosse a lot of times is a game of matchups. I think my colleague John articulated that very well throughout the first quarter. And Michigan found a great matchup there. They moved the ball and they put number 10 Carolyn Davis in a great position to score based on who her defender was, and she put it in easily.
Yes, absolutely. 12:56 left. 9-0. Cincinnati through these 2 minutes has had possession of the ball for about like 5 seconds because Michigan stole it right back from them. How demoralizing is it when you don't have possession the whole game, you finally get it, and then it just gets stolen from you right away?
Yeah, that's really tough. And the thing for Cincinnati too is that they've got to slow down a little bit. Like you can't panic in these situations, and it's tough. You're down 9-0, but you got to get back to your game plan. Got to try to establish yourself a little bit offensively, and that means slowing it down. But when you're down 9-0, a lot of the times maybe players are hitting the panic button, trying to go as fast as possible. You can't score 9 goals right away. You got to get back to what your initial game plan was. So let's see if they can do that here.
Yeah, I mean they've got to score 1 goal. In order to score a goal, you've got to have the ball, and they have won the faceoff, and they've got the ball. Kimora Bailey, the senior defenseman, starting this attack here. Cincinnati, let's see if they can generate a shot, see if they can generate something. They haven't had a shot in about like 10 minutes here.
Wow. Some really risky longer distance passing for Cincinnati. I've noticed a lot. Michigan moves the ball quickly, but a lot of shorter, more crisp passing, especially in the offensive zone. Let's see if Cincinnati can replicate that a little bit. Might lead to some more offensive success.
Yeah, I mean the longer distance, maybe the reward's higher, but when you can't complete them, it's hard.
Absolutely.
Sandy has it behind the net, on the baseline, looking for someone in the middle. In the middle, shot from the outside, and it's a save off the leg, and it's another save with the stick. Maya Santamaria, fantastic. But there's going to be a shooting space penalty. It's going to be Ava Geller.
This is absolutely huge for Cincinnati right here. A really strong opportunity to maybe, at least get on the board, get something going here early on in the second period.
Let's see if Cincinnati can at least get a shot here. Geller, Redding trying to beat Santa Maria for the first time this game. And it's a shot, and it's off the leg of Santa Maria. Wow. She has been just a brick wall today.
Really strong showing from her so far today. On a limited sample size, obviously, we got 4 shots here early on into the game. But 4 saves, that's really impressive stuff from her.
Yeah, and it's just, you finally get some shots, but, the goalie is just too good. He's standing at her head here. Looks like, I think we're going to have another shooting space penalty. Looks like it's going to be Mia Fedorovich. See if Santa Maria can be the hero once more. Mia Fedorovich on the left side between 2 Michigan defenders. And she takes it back out, opting to be safe. They have been not able to beat Santa Maria here.
See, look, they're slowing the game down a little bit, trying to find their shot, working to find, maybe a better setup than on the uncontested shot. Let's see if it works out for them.
Yeah, Michigan being very physical inside, but making sure not to commit a penalty, but just being very physical. The Cincinnati players are not going inside without consequences.
Absolutely, and Michigan has been really physical throughout the entire game. What we're seeing here is we're getting a couple more whistles, and I think that's really important for Cincinnati as they try to work back and to make this a competitive game. Is if they can get themselves into these opportunities where they have uncontested shots off these penalties, that's an easy way for them to start scoring some goals, build a little bit of momentum. And if they stay in the offensive zone and Michigan keeps being physical with them, they're only going to get more of those whistles going their way.
And Ava Geller on the shooting space penalty. lost the ball. Recovered by Maya Santamaria, who, I mean, even if Michigan hadn't been piling on, Maya Santamaria just fantastic. Gooch has it to behind the net. Kaylee Thompson back out to Jill Smith on the left wing. She's talking to the ref here. 50 seconds on the shot clock. Gooch, Michigan's being very patient here. Just seeming to lull Cincinnati to sleep. 40 seconds on the shot, yeah.
That's the beauty of being up 9-0 is you can play at the tempo that you want to, maybe slow it down a little bit. There's no urgency for Michigan here, and obviously you want to stay on the gas pedal. You don't want to let up, but this is their game. They're in control of it, and they can decide when they want to get their shot.
Yeah, and Julie Schwab comes on, looking to get into the middle of the Cincinnati defense, and they don't find her. Michigan, 15 on the clock, behind the net. They a lot more urgency, 10 on the clock. Smith outside. Pass inside, a shot, and it's saved by Ashley Lapp, but Michigan has it back. Shot clock resets to 60 seconds. It's very important to get a shot because now they can waste even more time. Jill Smith inside, and she scores again. 10-0 from the left wing. Got in between two Cincinnati defenders and fired a shot in the corner.
That's really impressive stuff from her. Really just able to go 0 to 60 really quickly. Michigan moving the ball slowly, measured, patient attack. All of a sudden she gets the ball with the matchup she likes, makes one move, ball goes in the net immediately. She really has been electric today for them, absolutely beasting on this Cincinnati defense here.
Yeah, that is her 34th goal of the season. And I believe that is her, 5th goal of the game. That is a lot of goals.
Coby, Michigan's season high scored is 17 goals. They did hit that against Harvard. Do you think we're going to see that by halftime today?
Absolutely. Oh, well, actually, I don't know because they're not scoring at a super high pace because I think they want to take their time because they know they're up by so much. So they actually might not get that. As Michigan has the ball once again. It's Jill Smith at the top of the key. To CC Stein, the freshman who scored earlier. Caroline Bean behind the net. To Kaylee Thompson, back to Smith on the left wing. She kicks it out to Erin Garvey, the graduate who scored also. But she's hounded by two Cincinnati defenders looking for a teammate, and she finds Jill Smith. To Jane Federhoff. 45 on the clock. Thompson behind the net, hounded by a Cincinnati defender. Back to Smith. She makes a move, but she is fouled.
Looks like she's going to get another shot attempt here. Looking for her 6th goal. Last time anyone for the Wolverines scored 6 goals in a game, it was February 12th of this year at number 7 Florida. Do you know who that was, Coby?
I'm not sure.
If you had to take one guess, who do you think?
Yeah, if I had to guess, I believe it would be Jill Smith.
Jill Smith is correct.
Yes, as Erin Garvey cuts inside. It's a shot. It's a goal. 11-0 Michigan. It's not Jill Smith. I guess if you're Cincinnati, you can kind of take solace in that. You did not let up 6 goals.
That's maybe. Not yet. We got a lot of time left here. I think the struggle of this game for Cincinnati is that, as John so eloquently put in the first quarter, lacrosse is a lot of lacrosse is about matchups. And when you can't win your one-on-one matchups at the defensive end, and you have to play help and you have to move defenders around, that creates creases. And Michigan moves the ball well, and they're able to find those. And clearly, it's translated to a lot of success today. 11 goals. They're just moving the ball really well and taking advantage of those mismatches, and making the most of those opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, as we have a timeout here on the field. If you're Cincinnati, you have 6 shots, but Maya Santa Maria has let up none of them. So even the few shots you're getting, they're not going in. And you're down 11-0. 6 minutes left in the first half. I mean, I don't even know what the coach says. I have no idea.
It starts with possession. Right? And Cincinnati's got to win possession. They had, obviously it didn't translate to any goals, but they had some success their last go-round near the Michigan net because they were able to draw some foul calls. They were able to get some opportunities on goal. I think here, if you're the coach, you're saying we got to get the ball, we got to play slow, we got to hold on to it, and then we got to set ourselves up down there for success, try to find some open looks.
Yeah, so at this point, are you trying to win the game? Are you trying to – obviously you're trying to win the game, but are you trying to focus on getting one goal and then going from there? Or is this more of a game where you're like, okay, we accept that maybe we're going to lose, but we just want to take something positive away from this game?
Yeah, I think it's about building momentum, finding anything positive and anything that you can build on from this quarter that's going to translate after halftime, right? You got 6 minutes left in this quarter. You try to find anything, any goal, any success, get some more shots, maintain possession, and keep Michigan out of your defensive end if you're Cincinnati. And look, Michigan's proven today that you can score 11 points, 11 goals in a half. Cincinnati theoretically can do that in the second half, but they've got to start making some stops. They've got to hold on to the ball, and they've got to get some shots in the net, take advantage of those opportunities down there.
Yeah, and to get possession starts with the face-off, and we do not have Josie Gooch taking the face-off. We have Lily Montemurano, so maybe this is a chance.
Absolutely.
For Cincinnati here. 5:57 left in the first half. See, can Michigan build on their lead, or will Cincinnati come up with a huge momentum swing and finally be able to score a goal? Face off. Lily Montemurano. And it's a win for Michigan, but Cincinnati knocks it out. But it's picked up by Francis Workman, streaking down the right side. Being patient. The Michigan reinforcements have arrived. Jill Smith on the left baseline. Being very patient. They can afford to be so patient. Taylor Gooch directing traffic once again to freshman C.C. Stein. Kaylee Thompson has it. Gooch cutting inside. It's a shot over the stick of the Cincinnati goalie, Ashley Lapp, and it's 12-0. Cincinnati lost the faceoff, and Michigan scores right away within less than a minute.
Really
what
tough
happened
stuff.
there for Cincinnati?
Really tough stuff. Michigan, again, winning those one-on-one matchups. Gooch makes a really impressive move there. Just one cut, and she's got an open look at the goal and makes the most of it. No physicality from the Cincinnati defense there. You really got to keep pressure on, stay in somebody's face, and Gooch is able to get right by that. Leads to a goal. Leads to another easy goal for Michigan, a lot of what we've seen today. So not what you want to see if you're the Bearcats. Michigan, clearly can get those pretty easily.
Yeah, and it's Lily Montemurano, I guess, letting Junior take the face-off, as it's not very high leverage, but it's good to get some practice not from your main face-off girl.
Yeah, get somebody some experience.
So Cincinnati needs to get some offensive possession going. It's a battle, and they finally win it. But she's hounded by Lily Montemurano. That's going to be a foul. Michigan defense is swarming Cincinnati every time they get the ball. It's so tough.
Yeah, we talked about Michigan slowing down, but that defensive effort right there indicates no sign of letting off the gas. They are really putting the pressure on here defensively, and it leads to them getting the ball right back.
Yeah, Jane Federoff. And, I mean, you look at the difference. Cincinnati is not able to hound Michigan with the same intensity. They're just not as fast, I think.
Absolutely, and Michigan moves the ball really well. That's the difference here. Look, they've got short passes, intermediate passes, long-distance passes. They can go anywhere on the field that they want to right now, and that's translating to offensive success. They can get to their spots right away and find those matchups.
Absolutely. I mean, we can really see the difference in those, not necessarily, not just on the offensive end, like in front of the net, but like in the middle of the field, able to be patient and in quick passes, as you were saying. Jane Fedorov down the left side. Michigan has it behind the net, looking for inside. Cincinnati not able to get the loose ball. Michigan still has it behind the net. 30 seconds on the clock. Caroline Davis back out to Fedorov. Freshman C.C. Stein cutting inside, looking for a shot. It's not there. And the pass inside, broken up by Cincinnati. There's a fight for it behind the net, and Cincinnati is able to come up with it. 2 minutes left. Huge play for Cincinnati right there.
Yeah, just get Michigan out of your end. That's all they can really ask for at this point. Michigan's really not going to let them play slow here, playing tough on-man defense, keeping the pressure, and Cincinnati looks a little frantic right now trying to get the ball across the other side of the field.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati's struggling to get in an attacking position, as finally they're able to break the Michigan press as Ava Geller has it, taking her time. 50 on the shot clock, 1:40 on the game clock. Julie Rose trying to get inside on Caitlin Camellia, but it's not working here. Julie Rose scanning behind the net. Back out to Lindsay Dakota. She goes behind the net. Cincinnati players are cutting, but they just cannot seem to get open. 20 seconds left. Cincinnati going inside. Errant pass picked up by Cincinnati. They've got inside here, but hounded by 3 Michigan defenders. Offensive play by Annabelle Burke, but it looks like it's going to be a shooting space foul or just a regular foul, I think, yeah.
Regular foul here.
45 seconds left. 10 on the shot clock. Cincinnati looking for a shot at the top of the key, hounded by 2 defenders. Left wing, 3 on the shot clock, 2, 1, and they do not get the shot off. And Michigan is streaking down the right side, trying to take advantage of this miscue. But Cincinnati has picked it back up. 25 seconds left. Cincinnati trying to go through 3 defenders. It has not worked in the middle. It's picked off by Michigan. 15 seconds left, looking to get one last thing going, but
might be a shooting space penalty here. We see with 12 seconds left. Yeah, we talked about trying to be slow, trying to be patient, try to find the right shot, but Cincinnati only has 6 shots in this game. The Bearcats got to find some success and get something off. Going through a full shot clock with nothing there, really waste of an opportunity to get something on the board before the end of the half.
Yeah, and I mean, 12 seconds left. Michigan can just let the clock run out. Very unlikely they are going to score here, but Michigan definitely has slowed down their offense. And
although you never know, Coby. We said that at the end of the first quarter with 8 seconds left, and they put one in then too.
That's true. We got 5 seconds left. Looks like Michigan is happy to let the clock expire. It expires 12-0 Michigan at the end of the first half. Just a fantastic half for Michigan. We have a 10-minute break. We will be on for a few minutes here. Then we'll be back just before the start of the third quarter. But I mean, 9-0 at the end of the first. They only scored 3 goals. What did you see there, and what was going well for Michigan? What can they kind of take away from this quarter and bring into the locker room?
There's not a lot to be upset about in the locker room at halftime for Michigan. I think the domination of the time of possession fell off a little bit, but that's to be expected. They held the ball for nearly the entire first quarter, first period. I think that for Cincinnati, you're going into the locker room you're looking for anything positive, right? You talk about what did you take away from the first half, anything that you can bring into the second half. And I think those last stretches, they did have the ball near the Michigan net a few times. They keep shooting the ball. They're going to find success at some point. Michigan has a really strong goalie here in Maya Santa Maria, but they're going to have to keep getting – if they can keep getting shots, they're going to be able to find the back of the net at some point. So I think they need to keep getting down there, keep playing physical, trying to draw those fouls, and just – find any opportunity to score the ball at this point going into the second half. Michigan, not a lot for them to be upset about. I think keep maintaining possession, keep the tempo up when they need to, and keep playing physical on defense.
Yeah, and I mean, the most goals Michigan has scored this season, they've scored 17 goals 3 times. It seems like they're well on their way to scoring 17 now. I mean, could they score more, or do you think they'll just be content to just kind of run out the clock here?
I think this team doesn't look like they're ever going to be content to slow down. And the other thing is that for a team that's trying to assert itself through the next little bit of their schedule leading into the NCAA tournament, this is a game that they have to really make a statement with. This isn't a team that you can beat by a little bit and look like one of the top teams in the country, one of the top teams in the conference. You have to beat this Cincinnati team, younger team, smaller team. You have to beat them by a lot. You have to make a statement. So I think Michigan might play some younger players, might mix it up a little bit, but I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas in the second half. I don't think that that's something that their culture really fits with.
Yeah, no, I mean, Jill Smith, she scored 34 goals here. I don't think she knows what it means to take her foot off the gas. So
I don't think so either. We saw it in the first half for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, thank you for listening to us for the first half. We will be back in about 5, 6, 7 minutes for the second half of this game. Michigan leads 12-0. We'll be back in a few minutes.
And we're back here in Ann Arbor. It is John Tondora with Jack Conlin, and we're about to get started here on your number 19 ranked Michigan Wolverines against the Cincinnati Bearcats here for what has been an electric women's lacrosse game to start today. How are you doing, Jack?
I'm doing great. I couldn't agree more. It's really been an electric game of lacrosse so far. Looking forward to the second half. We're going to see if it's going to be more of the same from Michigan or maybe Cincinnati tries to come back into it. I'm thinking the former, but who knows? I don't know what you think, John, but I'm just excited to see what happens no matter what.
Certainly a 12-0 lead for the Wolverines. Everything has gone their way so far. Jack, you said you think it's going to be Michigan pulling this one out. I say I'd have to agree, but just to keep it interesting here, what does Cincinnati have to do to maybe win the half? Maybe they don't win the game, but what do they have to do to win this half and go home with something to work on?
Yeah, and it comes down to work. I think that's the number one thing. Michigan has a huge lead. They're going to get some younger players in here, already have some substitutions from the starting lineup to start the first half. I think Cincinnati's going to have to outwork Michigan in every phase of the game. That means here in the draw control play. That means at the offensive end, working to get their matchups. And at the defensive end, they're going to have to defend better and play more physical, and that starts with work.
Certainly, I couldn't agree more. And here we go to set up for the face-off draw. Josie Gooch for the Wolverines has been uber successful today, so we'll have to see how it goes. Setting up here. Here we go. The ball is up, and that is a face-off draw. There's a scramble for it. Won by the Cincinnati Bearcats. That was Kimora Bailey picking up the ball. And now the Bearcats are able to start their offensive zone cycle. We'll have to see if they can contribute more on the offensive end and help out their defense than they did last time. What do you say to that, Jack?
Yeah, I agree, and that's a great demonstration of what work can do. They get into a little bit of a scrum for the ball. They scratch and claw, I guess like a Bearcat does, and they end up with the ball right here to start, and they got an opportunity at the offensive end.
Couldn't agree more. I think one thing that you both you and Coby touched upon earlier in the broadcast that I so eloquently enjoyed was it's all about taking your time, right, if you're the Bearcats, and that's what we see them doing right now, cycling it up top right, now down to the top of the key. That is Lauren Onensmeyer with the ball, bringing it back down low to the X position behind the net. Still here just controlling the ball for the Bearcats. That's Cameron Callahan bringing it up with a pass back to Onensmeyer, and they're just content to work with this clock. Jack, for the Bearcats, we talked about winning the half. Does that mean quick strikes and hoping to score, or do you think it's right that they're just trying to run this clock down and find the right shot?
There's a balance there, John, for sure. I think that working late into the clock isn't always the worst thing. You got to find your matchup and you got to find your shot. But Cincinnati still only has 6 shots on the game in a full half of lacrosse. They have to change that. They have to increase their pace a little bit and at least start firing more of these shots at the stalwart Michigan goalie Maya Santamaria. See if they can get something through her into the back of the net.
Certainly, and a momentary disruption there for the Bearcats, but they get the ball back off of a turnover picked up by Kimora Bailey. She has been around early on in this second half, and now we see Grace Wayland with the ball here, cutting in across, going for a spin move, and that's unsuccessful, but
oh, wow.
Another turnover by the Wolverines. Oh, well, we have a penalty I see here.
Getting a little physical early, I think that bodes well for Cincinnati. Michigan not afraid to play physical, test the whistles of the refs for sure. But Cincinnati's got to play more physical, be a little more disruptive on defense. The first half clearly wasn't working for them. They were playing off, playing a little passive. So I don't mind that look for them. They're trying to get in the face of these Michigan offensive players, Michigan defensive players too.
Certainly. And now after that whistle, we have Cece Stein bringing up the ball into the Michigan offensive zone. Now that's swung around by Kaylee Thompson. Onto the stick of number 10, Caroline Davis. Michigan content to take its time here. Now up to the key to Jane Federoff. Down back low again to Erin Garvey. And swinging it around to X is Kaylee Thompson again. Content to work slowly. It seems like both these teams, after kind of a fast-paced first half, have settled in a little bit. Content to work through their offense. And we'll have to see where it goes. If you're the Bearcats, we talked about this. They're content. They're happy to take their time. Maybe not necessarily content anymore, but the Wolverines having possession of the ball for so long is not helpful if you're the Bearcats.
Yeah, you got to be disruptive. You got to force a turnover here. You got to get in their face, make sure they can't get their first look, which more than likely is going to be with Jill Smith. So especially getting in her face, maybe putting an extra defender in her way to help a little bit is going to be huge for them in this second half.
Yep, and that's a shooting space penalty. That'll put the ball in the hands of the Wolverines for an open shot. Shot saved by Ashley Lapp. She's been, despite the lopsided score, she's been very stellar today. She's had a lot of opportunities thrown her way, and you have to respect the fact that she's stood tall in the face of it all. Now the Bearcats bringing up the ball. That's Danny Milkvey. And swinging it over, up, cross field pass. That's Bailey again, number 20, bringing it up, securing it in the midfield. And the Bearcats are going to have to find their way to puncture into what you could effectively call this trap defense by Michigan, but it won't be so. An errant pass, and now the Wolverines have the ball again, streaking up the middle of the field. Collected, another pass, goes a little wide, and that is Lapp fighting for the ball, but it won't be so. Jill Smith picking it up, a pass to number 5, Aaron Garvey for the shot and score, and that's Michigan's 13th of the day. Jack, what did you see there?
Wow, really impressive stuff from Michigan. In a sort of really quick sequence of events, they're able to force a turnover on a long pass. They move the ball into their own offensive zone. They grab a loose ball, win that, and are able to quickly pass it back at an open net opportunity. Really impressed by Aaron Garvey there. Catches a pass, puts it right into the goal with no goalie. Can't get much easier than that, but really great sequence from Michigan. They've been able to pass the ball well. Leads to goals. Cincinnati there demonstrates how maybe their struggles with passing the ball have translated to their struggles in the game overall.
Certainly, we've talked about Jill Smith all day and how she's a potent offensive scorer, but right there gaining the assist after a ground ball pickup against the Bearcat goaltender Lapp. So you have to say she's really doing it in all facets of the game today.
Absolutely. Really what you want to see from, a young star player brewing here in Ann Arbor, somebody who's going to do the dirty work. She's going to fight for that loose ball, try to gain possession back. Even in a game that they're winning 12-0 already, she makes it 13 with that assist. Great stuff from her.
Certainly. Jill Smith only being a sophomore, kind of incredible. You look at the stat sheet, you almost can't believe it.
Absolutely not. Really special stuff from her. The future is bright here in Ann Arbor for this program with her at the helm.
Certainly. Another face-off draw coming here momentarily. Josie Gooch, we've mentioned a multitude of times. She's been great all day. We'll see if she can do it again and keep the ball in the hand of these Wolverines. And that ball is up. There's a scrum for it down low. Picked up by the Bearcat. Bailey dropped once more, but a foul will allow it to go back into the hands of the Bearcats. Now they're going to try and set up as Michigan goes into its defensive ride. That's number 18, Maya Federich, bringing up the ball on the right side, passing it to the middle to Ava Goler. Cutting inside, shot, and another save. Another great save by the Michigan team. Their defense, able to be punctured a little bit there, but then goaltender stands on its head, Jack.
Really impressive stuff from her. She has just been a brick wall today. They've shot high, they've shot low, they've shot left, they've shot right, and she's stopping everything that she sees. For Cincinnati, they just got to keep testing. Can't get discouraged. Santa Maria is going to make those saves, but you got to keep putting the ball towards the net.
Certainly, Michigan back in the offensive zone, racing up the side here. Back into the X position is Caroline Bean, swinging it around up top to Cece Stein, who already has a number of excellent shots and a goal today to her name. Cross crease pass to Smith again, and that looks like it will be potentially a shooting space penalty as Cece Stein sets up, getting ready for her free opportunity. Once again, Michigan going to have another shot at Ashley Lapp, who has just been really tested all day today, Jack.
She's working hard out there. This is going to be huge for her. You got to start stringing together some stops if you're Cincinnati, and it's a lot of pressure on her, but she's the one it starts with as the woman in goal. So great save by her. Let's see if they can win possession back.
Yep, Michigan wins that rebound. Certainly not something you need if you're the Bearcats after an excellent save by Ashley Lapp, but now that's Caroline Davis swinging it up to Lily Montanmararo, who also has a goal herself today. Michigan content to cycle, and that looks like it'll be another shooting space penalty. It will be Frances Workman taking this one. Haven't called her name yet today, but if you're Michigan, the story of the day has really been a lot of contributors as well. Outside of Jill Smith, of course, we know how successful she's been, but multiple other Wolverines logging goals today in what has been a great offensive showing.
Really well-rounded effort. Unable to connect there.
Unable to connect. Jack, what does Cincinnati have to do now that it has possession finally after an extensive period without it?
I think that it's really demoralizing, those sequences where Michigan gets those open net shots or off the penalties and then is able to win possession back. Cincinnati has to watch the shot clock reset and get ready to play more defense. For them, they got to win possession back, and they've got to establish themselves maybe on their own side of the field before moving up in maybe a more measured, less panicked play or style of play and pace, because these long passes for them where they're not able to move possession upfield, maybe lose the ball, that's really demoralizing and really hurting them here as the game goes on.
Certainly, they'll hope to do it here as the Bearcats are racing up the right side, pass through the middle. That's to Sophia Finauti. And as the Bearcats are coming in, it goes back up top to number 12, Ayla Goler, down to number 30, Lauren Ottensmeyer, who's content to collect the ball and stand at the top of the key here, surveying the defense. Passes it over to Goler again, who brings the ball in off a screen, sends it back down low. Circling around the net are the Bearcats. Another pass, cuts inside, and that looks like it will be a potential shooting space penalty, perhaps. Jack, what'd you see there?
That's what it looks like. We're going to see Cincinnati with another opportunity to get on the board here. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Number 38, Grace Wieland, will be taking it. Shot just wide. Collected by the Wolverines, who are going to set up into their transition game. This is coming out of the back from Santa Maria. Passes it up high. A long pass, long arcing pass. Forward once more to another pass, streaking up the left side of the Wolverines.
Really just a testament. Michigan's ability to turn defense into offense in this game has been so impressive. They are able to stop, the penalty opportunity for Cincinnati. They get the ball back, and right away they're in scoring position, setting up, allowing their substitutions, and ready to go again, maybe make this lead 14-0.
Certainly. This is Merrill Johnson with the ball now, cycling it down low. Back to the X position for Caroline Davis. Back up top to Cece Smith. Sends it over to number 7, Merrill Johnson again. Johnson getting on the field. It seems like for the first time today, Cece Smith now being able to captain the offense. That's a shot through the middle, collected by number 21 for the Wolverines, Catherine Merrifield. Back down low, and will it go out of bounds? Yes, it will, but it's still Michigan ball. Cycling it up top. Back up to Cece Smith, who's been swarmed by the Bearcats all day. They definitely know her number now after she's been on the field for so often. Back down low, cross over to Smith again, and that looks like it will be a shooting space penalty as Cece Smith sets up. One thing that's really been impressive today, Jack, is this Wolverine passing attack. What do you have to say about that?
It's really balanced. They move the ball so well in their offensive zone, working around the exterior, finding the look they like. They're not compromising. Leads to some success here in the form of that goal from C.C. Stein. I really think Michigan overall at the offensive end has been so measured, so patient. They turn the speed up when they want to, and they slow right back down. Cincinnati hasn't been able to answer their tempo at either end of the spectrum.
Certainly, and that goal by Stein, it doesn't come off of that passing attack that we speak on, but it is what sets it up there. You see that, yet again, these Michigan passes, these Michigan cuts, they put the Bearcats in these difficult positions that forces them to commit these penalties, and there C.C. Stein capitalizes.
Yeah, it's really just great fundamental lacrosse from Michigan today. Really impressive. Obviously, the big story, the big scores, Jill Smith making a big performance, but every phase of the game for Michigan has just looked really crisp. They've asserted themselves as the better team here, and it's been really fun to watch.
Certainly, and I think we're going to see a change here in the face-off circle for the Michigan Wolverines. That's number 22, Lily Monten-Marano, getting her shot now with Josie Gooch potentially sitting the bench for the rest of this game. Who knows? Not sitting necessarily. She's had a great day, but maybe she just gets to have a little bit of a breather after all this success.
Oh, and she deserves it. Really impressive stuff from her. And like you said, too, the goals are what everyone's going to talk about, but her ability to move the ball and create space for her teammates has been so impressive here, and that I'm sure her coach is going to be singing her praises for that as well after this one.
Certainly, and that's a Bearcats violation on the faceoff. Leads to Michigan possession. That's number 22, as we mentioned, Lily Monten-Marano. Bringing the ball up over to 31, Julia Schwab. Swings it over to Sophia Di Nicola, and the Wolverines are content once more to set up on offense.
More of that measured passing you were talking about here, John. They're working the perimeter. They're trying to find their look, and they're not going to compromise on it. So impressive.
Certainly. These Wolverines are patient, patient, patient. That's the name of the game in any sort of lacrosse situation, and no less so when you're up 14-0 currently are the Wolverines. But They're content to just sit and wait for their shot, like you're mentioning, Jack. This is swung up top. Now back down low again. That's Caroline Bean with the ball. Brings it over, forward pass, shot, score. It just that easy for Caroline Davis, the attack woman junior who nets Michigan its 15th goal of the game. You know, we mentioned the word beatdown earlier today, Jack. You have to wonder, if you're the Bearcats, when does the mental side of the game start creeping in, or has it already?
I think it has, and it's really brutal for them too. You know, this is a tough environment to play in against a really tough Michigan team. They haven't done everything wrong here today, John. They've done some good things at both the defensive end and the offensive end, just not enough. I think they've got to stay patient. It's really important for them, you know, to not get discouraged by the mental side of this. This is a really good Michigan team that they're playing, and there's still a lot of season left. So, you know, these games happen, these things happen, but certainly hard to get, or easy to get bogged down in a performance like this. I can understand that.
Certainly, and this is a Bearcats team that's 4-2 right now, probably looking at 4-3 after today, still above 500, and with a lot of the season to go, only halfway through here, there's time for growth, and that ball's up after the face-off won by the Bearcats. They surely needed that, and they're going to set up in their offensive transition game. That's Bailey with the ball again, number 20, passing it up to number 15 for the Bearcats, Sophia Limberis. Now back up top to the key. That's Lauren Ottensmeyer with the ball, content to hold it, circle around, back down to the X position. She passes it, and that will be a penalty. We will see who it is assessed to at this moment in time. Jack, it sounds simple, but how important is it for Cincinnati to just win a face-off, right?
Wow, yeah, you know, we talk about stringing positive moments together, and that starts with a face-off, right? Like, they have to gain possession here and just try to set something up that they plan to. I think it's really important in situations like this to be able to execute any of your game plan, and that starts with the face-off. That starts with possession. They've really struggled here on defense. If they can flip that, find any offensive success, get maybe that shot number, which is only at 8 right now, up a little bit, that's going to be huge for them coming out of this game. Get points on the board even.
Certainly. And a free possession by the Bearcats, that will stay with them as it was a foul on the Wolverines. That's number 30, shot and another save collected by the Wolverines, but it seems as though there was another foul committed. This looks like, I believe, it will be a free shot after a shooting space penalty, and it will be Lauren Ottensmeyer, the midfielder from Baldwin, Missouri, who will have the ball on her stick for this opportunity. Oh. However, it won't be so, as it seems time has expired in the third period. I guess it was not, or the third quarter, excuse me. It was not a clock-stopping penalty, and now the Wolverines will go into this final frame up 15-0.
Yeah, you know, everyone's going to be talking about Jill Smith after this game, and rightfully so. She's the headline, but Maya Santamaria has been so impressive. She's sitting down there watching her team up huge. She's sitting on a shutout performance through 3 quarters, and she continues to make these impressive saves no matter where the shots are coming from. Really strong showing from one of the best goalies in the conference.
Certainly, Jack. You know, Maya Santamaria has been a brick wall. We've said that word multiple times all game, but the fact of the matter is, you know, she's played so well, and you really have to give her credit.
Absolutely. And the whole Michigan defense, too, I think has been really impressive. But Cincinnati has been able to, especially in the second quarter, they were able to create draw some fouls, get those open opportunities on goal, and Santamaria just stood in there, stood strong, and has been able to continue to pitch this shutout through 3 quarters. Really impressive stuff from her.
Yeah, certainly. And then, you know, on the flip side, one Bearcat who has really impressed me is the senior defenseman, Kamora Bailey. She has been all over the place in the midfield. You know, she's really been a fire starter when it comes to generating what we've seen as a bit of a resurrected Bearcat offense. They've had some opportunities in this third quarter, and, you know, moving into the fourth, hopefully they can build upon that. But she seems comfortable with the ball in her stick, and she's really been able to initiate some of these breakouts.
Yeah, you know, I said at halftime, I think the biggest thing for Cincinnati is continue to have high energy and outwork Michigan. She certainly has demonstrated that. She is one of the hardest working players on the field that we're seeing right now. The test is going to be whether the rest of the Bearcats can rise to that challenge and try to play faster, try to play stronger, and create good matchups, play good lacrosse for this final frame, even if it likely won't end with a win for them. Try to string something together that's positive for sure.
Yeah, certainly. And, you know, 9 goals in that first quarter for Michigan, and now in the final, in these 2 quarters that we've witnessed, the second and the third, only 6 goals for Michigan. So there is something to be said for Cincinnati's defense picking it up a little bit. And now maybe as Michigan looks to probably rest some of its starters and bring in perhaps some second and third string players. Maybe the Bearcats can capitalize on that and have some momentum building into their next matchup, who will be coming along next week.
I think that we talked about patience from the Michigan offense, and I think Cincinnati, they've had moments of strong defense as well, but I think that patience is one thing that they're really going to have to work on in this final quarter and moving forward. They can't be panicking down there. Michigan has those weapons on offense, but you have to stay patient, stay disciplined, stay in your zone, stay on your man, and keep that strong performance. At times they create those creases for Michigan by moving to try to help who has the ball, getting out of those disciplined spots, and I think it's hurt them at times, leading to obviously a dominant offensive showing from Michigan.
Certainly, and we're going to see here another setup in the face-off circle. As we're going to have to look and see here, when was the last time that this Michigan team had a shutout? An excellent performance today, as you mentioned, but it seems as though Michigan is well on its way to a dominant performance and perhaps maybe even moving up in the rankings. We know this isn't the strongest Bearcat team, but regardless, Michigan has showed up today, and it seems as though the Bearcats are going to have some work to do if they want to even put together a momentum-building performance in this fourth quarter moving forward.
Yeah, we'll see here. It doesn't look like Michigan, this would certainly be Michigan's strongest defensive performance of the season so far. It's going to start. The fourth quarter is going to start. Try to continue that. We've got number 22, Lily Montemurano, in the face-off draw position for Michigan. Setting up here. Easy win for Montemurano, who's bringing it up on the right side. She's got CC Stein with her. Now slowing down the Wolverines, working the ball upfield into the offensive zone. Another patient offensive set for Michigan. CC Stein with the ball, passing it around the exterior, looking for that crease, trying to find an open shot. Workman finds Carolyn Davis. Another strong passing outing from Michigan. They're working the ball on the right side, now into the back behind the net. Set up an open shot and waved off. We've got a foul here.
Certainly, Michigan coming out swinging one more time with that face-off draw and win by Montemurano. She's been everywhere. We've mentioned Jill Smith's name, of course. We've mentioned CC Stein, but Montemurano has quietly put together another great game.
Really well balanced. Yeah, absolutely. We've got Sophia De Nicola. Takes a shot, scores, drops her stick in celebration, and the Wolverines are now up 16-0 on the Bearcats with 13:46 remaining in the game. Really strong stuff from her. Haven't called her name much today, and she puts one in for them to make the lead 16-0.
Certainly, and that's been the name of the game all day, getting those free possession opportunities. Michigan has made the Bearcats pay all day.
John, I have a question for you. It looks, especially at the offensive end, Michigan is finding everything easy. Everything looks simple for them. Why do you think that is? How are they finding those easy moments, those layups, and getting that success?
We kind of thought things might slow down a little bit if Michigan were to bring in the second and third stringers, but it just speaks to the culture of this team and the way Coach Hannah Nielsen has been preparing them this year. The game plan runs deep, and it seems as though even these Wolverines who may not see the field as much as their starter counterparts are still more than prepared to execute the high-flying, fast-passing game plan that the Wolverines are known for and have allowed them to be ranked so far this season.
Really, really great, fundamental, strong lacrosse. I couldn't agree more. We got Montemurano set up for another face-off. Cincinnati wins that one. It's Dana Milkby. Cincinnati resetting, trying to get anything going here on offense, working into the offensive zone. Grace Wieland working behind the net, trying to find her teammates. Right side of the net for Cincinnati. Slowing down a little bit. We got 70 on the shot clock. That continues to wind down. Lindsay Dakota moving the ball now for Michigan. Or for Cincinnati, excuse me. Passes to number 12. Scored. The shutout is over. Cincinnati is on the board. A goal from Ava Geller. And the Bearcats finally get one past the stalwart Michigan goalie. It's 16-1 with 12 minutes to play here. What do you see on that goal, John?
It's just the Bearcats, you mentioned sticking to their own game plan, the ability to wait patiently in the offensive zone. We've seen them have the chances all day today. It's one of those games, perhaps, if you're the Bearcats, where the final score is not going to reflect the effort they put in today. But thankfully, they finally have something to hang their hat on if you're Cincinnati, and they're going to go home with at least one goal on the board, which may not sound like a lot. But at the end of the day, when it's been a tale of missed opportunities, it's something that you really can point to as an ability to have success against a top team like Michigan.
Absolutely, and you see Cincinnati, the bench, the sideline celebrating, excited for their teammate even in the face of such a big deficit. How important is that their team is still invested in this game, still celebrating those moments like that?
I think it speaks to the fact that they understand that they're capable of having this level of success. At times perhaps they haven't had their best game, but they know that they can hang with these Wolverines in time. It's a young program, the Bearcats. They're a young team, and they know they might not be where Michigan currently is, but they're looking to Michigan as perhaps a blueprint, right? Another team or another program that has had success, and that's where they want to be. So there's learning moments even in these kind of perhaps bittersweet defeats.
Yeah, absolutely. Cincinnati wins a face-off there. They're setting up on offense again, maybe trying to add to that score here with 10 minutes remaining.
Certainly, and it seems that the Bearcats have come out into this fourth quarter looking at least a little bit more comfortable. It's taken them some time to settle in, but if it's about winning matchups, as you've mentioned, Jack, and it's about winning battles, then hopefully they can go back to Cincinnati later today with having won at least a fourth quarter, if not, a larger sentimental value.
Yeah, for sure. Cincinnati got a quick shot off there. It went past the net, but I think it's important that they're moving the ball a little quicker and playing a little more aggressively on offense as the game winds down here. Working behind the net now, we got number 18, Mia Fedorovic. Slowing down, we got 40 on the shot clock. That continues to wind. Lindsay Dakota passes, scores another Cincinnati goal. It's going to be 16-2 here off the goal from the Bearcats. Michigan let up 2 goals in the last minute or so here. Really, really impressive stuff from Cincinnati. You talk about moments to build on. What did you see on that one, John?
Yeah, it's the New Jersey product, number 32, Lexi Wolf with the goal. She had essentially a play that Michigan has been executing all day, gave them a taste of their own medicine, a real nice cutting score. She utilized what we've seen from her today as excellent speed, and the Bearcats now putting together a little bit of a run. It might not be the most impressive standpoint from where they would want to be earlier today, but the fact of the matter is they've built on this momentum. They're hoping to continue to build on this momentum, and if they can take it hopefully into their next game, it'll translate more positively.
John, it sounds like you don't see them coming back and winning this one here, but still some impressive stuff from them, and they got another opportunity here on a face-off. We've got number 22, Lily Montemurano for Michigan, looking to try to win one and end that Cincinnati run that John was talking about. Set up here. Whistle blows. And Cincinnati has got the face-off again. It's number 14, Dana Milkby, bringing the ball up. Cincinnati setting up again on offense with that aggressive tempo that's been successful in these last 2 offensive sets. Number 5, Cameron Callahan has the ball. Looks like we're going to have a foul, and Cincinnati might have an opportunity here for a one-on-one opportunity at a goal. They're passing it around. Number 17 with the ball, Grace Jenny. Number 12, Ava Geller. Oh, couldn't connect on a pass there. Cincinnati, one thing that stepped up in this quarter and leading to this offensive run has been their passing. It's been really crisp. Those turnovers that plagued them in the first 3 quarters haven't shown up as much. Have you seen that, John? How is that impacting the game?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, and here as Cincinnati's about to have its free one-on-one shot, which is a score for the Bearcats, I think we've touched upon something that's really important. Passing in this game is crucial. Compared even to other sports, women's lacrosse might be one of the most passing-heavy sports out there. You want to be connecting on those passes because in a sport where everyone is so physical, everyone is so uber-talented, they always say the ball moves faster than your feet, and when you have successful passing, as the Bearcats did there, it's going to translate to goals, and I'm sure that Cincinnati's happy. They are really putting together, a 3-0 run here. It's not the biggest, of course, but it is something to show that, hey, we can hang with this team when we're able to execute our game plan.
Absolutely. Michigan getting set back up here, and we've got Josie Gooch back out for the draw opportunity on the face-off. Looking at maybe Coach Aaron Nielsen or Hannah Nielsen for Michigan is saying enough with the Cincinnati run. Going to try to close this game out here.
Set up here.
Cincinnati has won the face-off again. Look at this. Trying to get back into their offensive set with some great long-distance passing, and they were back in the offensive zone. That's that's Ava Geller with the ball again, working inside, but a physical group of Wolverines meets her right in there. We're going to see a foul right away, and we might have another penalty opportunity for the Cincinnati Bearcats right here. Geller's setting up with the ball. Shoots over the top of the goal, and it goes into the out-of-bounds area. Cincinnati retains possession. Shot clock at 70. Winding down. Cameron Callahan at the top of the key, moving inside, trying to win her one-on-one matchup. Takes a shot too far to the left there. Cincinnati going to retain possession. 55 on the shot clock. Mia Fedorovich working the ball, trying to find her teammates on the exterior on the left side. Really physical defense here from Michigan. They do not want to let up another goal on this run. Geller beats her mark, takes a shot, but it is saved. The Michigan goalie comes up there, and Cincinnati is going to retain possession again. Shot clock back to 60.
And this is something we haven't seen from the Bearcats all day, right? Stringing together possessions has been super helpful to Michigan's early success, and now the Bearcats are finally getting a taste of it on themselves. Although that is a turnover off an errant pass, so it will be Wolverine ball.
Yeah, let's see what Michigan wants to do here. They're going to move the ball up a little more slowly, see if they can just wind some clock out here. It seems like they're content to go home with this 16-3 win at this point, but they've got to fend off Cincinnati and string together some clean passing, which they can't do there on a wide field or cross field pass turnover, and it's Cincinnati ball in the midfield zone. Cincinnati moving the ball up. Fedorovich on the left side, Cincinnati back in the offensive zone. Geller has the ball, looking for her teammates, trying to set up another scoring opportunity here, working along the exterior. Number 26 with the ball, moving inside. Back out number 5 for Cincinnati, Cameron Callahan, trying to beat her mark. Saved. Another shot by the Bearcats was stopped by the Michigan goalie. We got 3:56 left here. Cincinnati will retain possession at their offensive end, looking to set something up off a penalty. What do you see here, John?
Well, what I saw was a great save by the Michigan goaltender, Maya St. Maria. She truly had an amazing stop right there. A great opportunity for the Bearcats goes awry, but if you're the Bearcats, you have to be helpful. You have to be happy with the performance they're showing, as another great save by Santa Maria puts Cincinnati in a bit of a blunder there.
2 saves for the Michigan goalie, and Michigan is moving the ball up quickly now, trying to get into their offensive zone, eliminate any chance of another Bearcat goal. We got number 12 from Michigan, Frances Workman, moving the ball in the offensive zone. Got a quick stoppage here. Timeout by Michigan. John, 3 minutes left in this game. What do you think Michigan is talking about in the timeout right now?
I think they're talking about the fact that the Bearcats have seemingly taken over these last 8 minutes. You know, you see 3 straight unanswered goals by Cincinnati. Maya Santa Maria having to make 2 very impressive stops, one off of a cross-crease pass and another from a free shot. If I'm Coach Hannah Nielsen, I'm saying, hey, look, it's 16-3. The game is in hand, but that doesn't mean you need to end with a bit of a sloppier performance, right? They want to end this game as they started it, with dominance and with the ability to string together pieces of momentum that will take them into next week.
Absolutely. You know, they say that in moments like this, and blowout wins for both the victors and those who are defeated or are going to be defeated, you learn about what a team is truly like. If Cincinnati keeps fighting here, it will say a lot about their team and their program. If Michigan is able to stymie that attack, that will say a lot about their, you know, commitment to games like this, commitment to the game of lacrosse and playing solid fundamental lacrosse at all times. So really interesting last 3 minutes of lacrosse here, despite the lopsided line that we've got going into the final 3 minutes.
Yeah, and you might think Michigan has this win locked up, but these final 3 minutes matter for the Wolverines. Coming up next week, they're going to be playing at Northwestern. Northwestern, always a dangerous program, the program that eliminated them in Evanston last year from the NCAA tournament. So if you're Michigan, this Cincinnati game and these final 3 minutes aren't necessarily a tune-up as much as they are preparation. It's not time to fall asleep at the wheel. It's not time to kind of lackadaisically say, all right, let's have the game over with. The Wolverines need to be ready for their upcoming game on March 16th. I believe that's a Thursday, not that far away, and it's one that they've definitely have circled on the calendar for a long time.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you, John. It's tough to build momentum off of a win when the fourth quarter doesn't go your way, so it's going to be important for them to keep their foot on the gas here. Really impressive showing from them. Let's see if they can keep it going for these last final moments. For Cincinnati, what do you think that their mindset is in these last 3 minutes? Likely not going to score 13, 14 goals to change the outcome of the game, but what do you think they're thinking in terms of momentum building off of a loss?
I think you got it just right? It's something to build upon. If they can end this game with, a 4 or 5 goal swing, that's something to hang your hat on, and it's something to say, if you're the Bearcats, we hung with them. We hung with them towards the end, and it speaks a lot about their program. It speaks volumes about their culture that even in these waning minutes, they're still fighting and they're still here to play. And for those interested, there was a goaltender change for the Wolverines. It's number 33, Maria Sweeney, the senior from Elverson, Pennsylvania, coming in. So she's going to get an opportunity after a stellar performance by Maya Santamaria earlier today.
Michigan at the other end, away from their goalie, working on an offensive possession. I just saw a shot from C.C. Stein go wide right, but looks like the Wolverines are going to retain possession on a penalty here, try to get another goal in to pad that lead. I know it's been cut to only 13 after sitting at 16 for a while. Shot is through and saved by the Cincinnati goalie. And Cincinnati regains possession here. Goalie looking to pass it out. Finds Kimora Bailey. Really high energy player on the Cincinnati defense. Has definitely made her mark on today's game. Working the ball up against a physical Wolverines defense along the right sideline. Crosses into the offensive zone. Finds her teammate, Julie Rose. Cincinnati working inside, playing quickly here with a lot of tempo. They clearly are not taking their foot off the gas. And it looks like we've got a penalty for Michigan, so Cincinnati will have a shot at a goal here potentially. Test for that young goalie. Talk about meaningful game time. How important is that to put a young player in a situation like this, John?
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of young Wolverines out there today, and I think it is important, perhaps they won't get into this game in the upcoming week against Northwestern, but the fact of the matter is they're the future of this program. Maybe your eyes are a little bit dazzled by the likes of freshman C.C. Stein, but the fact of the matter is they've had 2 or 3 straight really strong recruiting classes filled with a variety of freshmen and sophomores now who, like I said, they're the future of the program. They're where this team is going to be in 2 or 3 years. And if they want to stay ranked, if they still want to stay competitive for national championships, moments like these are the seasoning that you get that doesn't necessarily come from the practice squad games.
Absolutely. Can't replicate that game environment. Big minutes here for the young Michigan players. Cincinnati working inside, gets a shot off by number 38, Grace Whelan, and it goes wide right. Michigan fighting for possession. We got a scrum on the right side. Looks like they're going to win the ball back and slow down here with 1.5 minutes left.
Certainly, you saw on that call, that foul call that led to Michigan ball. Ava Geller, whose name we've been calling for the Bearcats a lot today, she definitely let out a bit of a sigh of exasperation. You could see it on her face even from all the way up here in the press box. To me, that speaks volumes about this team and the fact that they're not giving up, right? It's a game that perhaps was out of reach early for the Bearcats, but they're still here to compete, and they're still here to try and find some success and build upon what is still a young season.
Absolutely. I thought I saw that reaction from her too, and it must be frustrating in a game where Michigan did get a lot of whistles that led to success for them, did get some goals off of penalties. So I can understand that for sure, but it is good to see players invested in games despite the outcome as we get into the final minutes, and Michigan brings the ball up into their own offensive zone likely for the last time or one of the last times with 40 seconds left here. Working around the goal. Let's see if they try to set up a shot. We got a whistle here. Clock will continue to wind, so we're at 30 seconds left as Michigan slowly sets up a penalty opportunity. Number 25, Sophia DiNicola, shoots, saved by the Bearcats goalie. We got 15 seconds. Clock continues to wind. Michigan fighting for the ball. Cincinnati retains possession. 7 seconds left here in Ann Arbor. Foul call, and that's likely going to do it for this game. Clock continues to wind. And there we go. The final buzzer sounds here in Ann Arbor. Michigan 16, Cincinnati 3. Wolverines took 28 shots, and Cincinnati ended with 18. John, final takeaways from this game.
Yeah, an impressive performance overall by the Wolverines. It felt like we touched upon it all day today, but they just came out with an energy, a speed, and an execution that the Bearcats were unable to summit. You have to shout out, of course, Maya Santamaria, their goaltender. They've praised her all year as being a rock in their backfield, and simultaneously, you also can't pass up on Jill Smith, the attackman from Farmington Hills, Michigan, only a sophomore and netting 5 goals today. It's an incredible performance by her and a great team win.
Really impressive stuff from Jill Smith, but overall the offensive attack for Michigan really just proved lethal from start to finish. Obviously slowed down a little bit, but that first quarter, that outburst really dictated the game, and they were able to turn that success into a dominant win over the Bearcats here in Ann Arbor. Really impressive stuff. I don't think we have anything else for you. We really appreciate you tuning in. From Ann Arbor, I'm Jack Conlin. This is John Tondora. We also want to give a shout out to our man Coby, who was on the broadcast with us as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.